Hi everyone, I hope you're enjoying 31 days of Halloween. Whoa, it's already October 10th. Man, I swear October goes by so fast. Yesterday I reviewed Mortal Kombat 9 on the PlayStation 3, and today I'll be reviewing Mortal Kombat X on the PlayStation 4. Mortal Kombat X was released on April 14th, 2015 for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Microsoft Windows, and versions were also released for iOS and Android around that time frame. PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 ports were in development but were unfortunately cancelled, but I will discuss more on that later. One thing I need to mention is while the console ports were great, but the initial PC release was a disaster, and the game had a ton of problems. Though they were eventually fixed by patches, but PC gamers definitely got a bad first impression of Mortal Kombat X. Maybe NetherRealm Studios and High Voltage Software should have followed the strategy they did with Mortal Kombat 9 and released the PC version at a later date, after the console versions were out. NetherRealm Studios announced on January 30th, 2016 that they were releasing Mortal Kombat XL, which includes all downloadable content released up to that point. And this caught my eye because 4 of the downloadable characters include Jason, Leatherface, Predator, and the Xenomorph. And these 4 characters alone was enough to get me to buy this. Mortal Kombat X is a really good fighting game, and truthfully it's the only fighting game I currently have on the PlayStation 4, but it's a really great game. Alright, I'm not going to repeat all the fighting moves that were introduced in Mortal Kombat 9 and the fighting system because they all make a return here, but there are 2 new finishing moves, Quatality and Brutality, and I'm still trying to pull these off, though I was able to do a Brutality once, though I wasn't sure how I did it. The new finishing moves are a nice addition. Mortal Kombat X does feature extra modes like Mortal Kombat 9, including a story mode and Classic Tower where you face 10 opponents. And there is of course a one-on-one versus and other modes like Living Tower, which is an evolution of the Challenge Tower, and several online modes. And there is a pretty good overall package here in terms of content, but there are a few things I need to bring up, but I will discuss that later. Mortal Kombat XL features 33 playable characters, and it is a really good roster of both classic and new characters, and each character looks awesome. Mortal Kombat X features excellent controls, and the character movements feel so good. These stellar controls are what I wanted in Mortal Kombat 9, though those controls were good, but these are excellent, and most of the characters' controls superb, with the exception of the alien, which is a little bit more complicated to control, but it's only a minor thing. The graphics in Mortal Kombat X are amazing. They look so good and really show off the power of the PlayStation 4 with smooth animations and character models. And the gore and X-ray moves, along with the finishing moves, look amazing. The music and sound effects are again top notch. Mortal Kombat X is a really good game, but while it improves in some areas like controls and graphics, but it feels like it takes a step back in content. First, the story mode is several hours shorter than Mortal Kombat 9, and frankly the tutorial mode feels like a step back from the pretty good tutorial mode in Mortal Kombat 9, which I felt could still have been a bit better. And considering there's not only 2 new finishing moves to learn, and the fact that some fatalities are harder to pull off, that's a real shame. The character roster is good, but it doesn't really expand on the size of the roster from Mortal Kombat 9, which is disappointing. The other big thing is this game has microtransactions, where players can actually buy easier fatalities and other items, and this is a very questionable business practice, to say the least. Mortal Kombat X is a good game, and XL makes it even better, but it just feels like more could have gone into this game, and the botched PC port at launch really shows this. But despite this game's problems at launch and the shortcomings, Mortal Kombat X has sold like gangbusters in its first year, selling over 5 million units. And I am pretty sure this is why the last gen versions were cancelled. Don't get me wrong. I am sure it was going to be a challenge to get Mortal Kombat X to run on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, but I am sure it was more than possible, and I'm sure they would have still been great ports, but I suspect once they saw how fast the next-gen versions were selling, and they realized how much money it would have cost to do good ports on the last-gen systems, they decided to forget it, figuring they could make more money in DLC and expansions. Mortal Kombat X is a good game, and Mortal Kombat XL makes it even better, and I loved having some of my favorite horror characters as part of the roster, and the controls and graphics are excellent, and I really like the game, but I just feel more could have gone into Mortal Kombat X. Before I give my rating, Apparently one more expansion pack called Kombat Pack 3 is in development, and it will come out with additional characters and downloadable content, but apparently it's been delayed until after Injustice 2 comes out, so it could be a while. But Mortal Kombat XL was supposed to be the definitive edition, so it makes me wonder if they're going to release a Mortal Kombat XLL in the future, but I guess time will tell. I give Mortal Kombat XL a final score of 8.5 out of 10. Come back tomorrow when I cover another interesting horror game. I will talk to you guys later. This is the Entertainment Wizard, signing off.
Like Scorpion, Jason Voorhees was a revenant. A vengeful spirit returned to life. Hundreds had fallen victim to his bloodlust. Liu Kang, now ruler of the Netherrealm, took notice. An immortal killer like Jason would be useful in his plans for conquest. He drew Jason into the Netherrealm and offered him an endless bounty of slaughter in return for his allegiance. Jason's simple reply was to destroy Liu Kang.